Hello, I'm W.T. Edmondson, and welcome to Focus. Freedom often causes unbelievable silence. Of course, the aim of Focus is to inform, educate, and motivate our citizens to action. We focus, of course, on political activities, politics, social justice issues. But today we're focusing also on community. Each year, there's a festival, Juneteenth Heritage Festival held. And of course, that activity has been going on. This is the 15th year for the festival. And so this year we have a new chairperson. And so we wanted you to have an opportunity to meet our new chairperson. And her name is Lowynta Chambers. And she is the 2016 Juneteenth Planning Committee Chair. Welcome to Focus.
Thank you.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you stated, my name is Lowynta Chambers. Most people in the community know me by Miss Wendy. I do a lot of things within the community. At one point or another, I was a parent educator. I am a foster adoptive parent, and I'm always the minivan mom. You see a kid, you'll see Miss Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what made you get involved with Juneteenth?
I grew up in Kansas City, and we celebrated Juneteenth as I was growing up. I was always at youth. I was a part of whatever activity was going on. I was a youth speaker for them at one point or another, part of the planning committee. So when you guys started doing the Juneteenth celebration here, I was very excited. At the time, I had little guys in my home, and so I could not wait to get them to be a part of Juneteenth. So in the background, I've always supported Juneteenth, whether it's through financial or volunteering to help set up, tear down, you know, when they were out there picking up trash, all the way to the point of looking for sponsors to help you guys out. And so at one point or another, someone just mentioned, hey, why don't you give them a call and see if they could use your help? And you guys accepted me, and here I am.
Okay. For those that do not know about Juneteenth, tell us a little bit about Juneteenth as you know it, and why is it important in your view to celebrate Juneteenth?
Juneteenth, hence the name Juneteenth, is because we don't really know when or at what point in June that we really were emancipated. So when they said we were celebrating Juneteenth growing up, I used to always ask, what is that? And they said somewhere within the teens, we got our freedom. Mm-hmm. And so growing up, I believed it was just a matter of us getting our freedom. Mm-hmm. But as I am older and a little bit wiser and have read upon myself, I realized that a lot of work went into us getting to where we are today. So it's important to me to celebrate it because I feel like celebrating it is an educational opportunity for others that do not quite understand, and hopefully a motivator for them to change what they are doing or continue to do what they are doing to make things better for us as a community, as a people, as individuals, and as a country.
Mm-hmm. As a lot of people don't understand the relationship between the Emancipation Proclamation and Juneteenth. Speak a little bit about that.
I know somewhere within 2 years after the, I want to say the Revolutionary War, we were told that the Civil War, I'm sorry, we were told that if we fought that war, then we can kind of get our freedom. And when I say if we, I'm referring to the slaves and the army that they had to pull together, because during that war, the British had more people by number than we did. Mm-hmm. And so to win that war is pretty much impossible. So in order to do so, they went and got the common man, the farmers, and who was outnumbered by all those? The slaves. Mm-hmm. So if you do this for us, we would do this for you. So here we have the Buffalo Soldiers and those that went in to fight this war for us. And even though they fought the war, it was still a couple of years afterwards before it was signed for us to become free. Mm-hmm. So the proclamation was signed later, although the promise was made a couple of years beforehand.
Yeah. The theme for this year's Juneteenth, tell us about the theme and what that means.
The theme this year is Continue to Matter. I was interested in doing a theme based around things that are going on right now locally, and we keep hearing Black Lives Matter. Well, Black lives have always mattered, and to me, every life matters because we are where we are, not because of just the black, not because the white gave us an opportunity, not just because someone came along and said, hey, do you want this, but because we've pulled together. And even though we joined the war because it was a payoff in the end, we still had to join with someone. And the word join means there was other people there. There were the farmers, there were the migrants, there were the white folks, there were the rich, there were the poor. And together, we were able to get what we needed in order for us to be free now. And so I believe in continuing to matter. We need to figure out how to pull together to make the things that mattered in the past continue to work for us, but to continue to make other things happen so that we know where we are and where we fit.
Well, you know, one of the things is that over the past 15 years, as Juneteenth started, I had a conversation with Dr. David Henson, who was the president of Lincoln University at the time, and so in our conversation, he was very excited that a local group were doing something to bring attention to the history of not only Lincoln University, but slavery and the whole bit. Because there's a lot of people who feel and felt that why are you focusing in on slavery and all that? But the thing here is that if you don't know where you've been, you're bound to repeat it. And so a lot of young folk, one is history is not taught in the school like it used to be, you know, and so there's a lot of young folk and probably some elderly folk that simply really don't understand history.
Right.
And so it was very important for us to focus on that. And so we've been very, very excited about the relationship between Lincoln University over the years and the public school system, because education has always been the key.
Absolutely.
And so for the Lincoln University and the Jefferson City Public School System to support this effort over the years have basically been tremendous. And it's important, that relationship is very important, because you know, if you want to move out of a current situation, education is the way to do it.
Exactly.
And understanding you have an educational background, talk a little bit about history and how history is important, reading and writing and all that, but also understanding history.
It's important because you hit the nail on the head when you said if we don't know where we come from, either we're bound to end up back in the same spot or we're going to just stand still. And either way it goes, without that education component, we cannot move forward. But without the history of knowing why we need to move forward, we're still kind of stuck. And along with education and being able to understand the basic of reading, writing, the arithmetic, you know, focus, is because everything that you do, it builds upon another change. And if we're not able to make change or accept change or have something to gauge our change by, we're not making any kind of, you know, stride. And so I believe in education for what it's worth. I mean, and to go over that be kind of redundant in this position or situation. However, without having our basic education, it's hard for our people in general to move forward because we only take what someone gives us. So when you say history is not taught like it used to, it's not. But if we're not teaching it at home as parents or grandparents or other family members to our offsprings, how are they supposed to know what our history really is? So
another partner was the Missouri National Guard over the years, and they were very instrumental at one point in Juneteenth when they first got started, and then for some reason it kind of waned, but the past couple of years they've come back, and they've come back very strong, and so that relationship is also very important because the military component is very important to Juneteenth because that's what it came out of a civil war, and when General Granger went into Galveston, Texas to announce that, hey, the war is in fact over, you are now free. And so that was a military component there. So we were very excited that the National Guard has played a part, and they are back very strongly, so we wish to thank them as well. But you were very instrumental in another strong sponsor of Juneteenth. Tell us a little bit about that.
You're probably referring to our partnership with Aetna Better Health, and it's formerly known as Healthcare USA. I sit on their advisory board for the community, and what it is a managed care insurance component to the Medicaid Medicare program. And one day they were having a meeting, and they said, well, you know, now that we're switching to Aetna Better Health, one of the things that they want us to do is be more community responsible and get out there and get our name out. So they were naming all the different activities they were going to participate in, and most of them are pretty common to the Jeff City area, but I didn't hear anything about Juneteenth. I didn't hear anything about Lincoln University homecoming. So I, waited a little bit, and I turned around and I said, well, are we open to suggestions for other places? And the young lady that I was talking to, she goes, well, you can give us suggestions, but I can't make you any promises this late in the game, because at this point, I think it was like April, and your program was going to come on in June. So we talked about it through our meeting, and I went and did my research, and I found out who to ask, and I sent them this long letter of what I wanted, why I wanted, and how much I wanted. And it was less than a week later, I get a phone call from someone that says, can you tell me a little bit more about what you're talking about? And I put it out there, and she goes, done.
Yeah, fantastic.
It was just that simple.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about what Aetna looked to and what they wish to promote at Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, again, is Aetna Better Health. And the thing is, they want to focus on what can make us a better community through messages of health, exercise, education, eating right, and things of that nature. So one of the things they were saying that they wanted to see if we were going to use them as a financial partner was where we're talking about health, where we're talking about how to go and pick the right, amount of food to eat here and here. So I was like, okay, we can do that. Later on, they came back and said, can we make a little bit more detail without being too personal? And I was like, sure. Well, this is what we see as the issue in your community for what it's worth. This, and this. Can we make a change in that? I'm open to anything. And so they're willing to partner with us to get down, to take our insurance rates down, because we're doing what we need to do to better ourselves. So they're looking to make it a collaboration in health as well as a community activity.
Well, now that leads us into the programmatic aspect of Juneteenth.
Okay.
Tell us about what's going to take place this year at Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, we're have a week-long event going on, opening on that Sunday, June 12th. And here's a flyer. I don't know if you can put that in the top prompt there. That is talking about the Juneteenth Father's Day Awards Banquet. And typically what they do is kind of honor men in the community for being those leaders and those role models needed for the children. We call it Father's Day. However, we do realize you do not have to be a biological seed donor to be a father. And with all the children in our community that are kind of latchkey or, out there without, there's a lot of guys that step up to the plate, and we would like to honor them with a celebration. I do know that Dr. Patricia Tatum is going to be our guest speaker. And so this year we're going to focus on teachers within the school district that are making a difference in the lives of our children.
What's going on for the following week?
Also during that week, we're going to have what we call our health, dance, and education camp, where the children come in. We'll talk about health and what's good for health practices. We'll teach them some skits during the theater portion, and then we're going to have a dance that we're going to teach them at the end. So the day of the Juneteenth event, they can present what they've learned over the course of that week. We're also going to have our Mr. and Mrs. Juneteenth pageant, which is for children of the ages 4 up until 11. They can come, talk about what they want to be when they grow up, what they know about history within itself. They'll be judged on those items, and on Saturday we'll present who the winner is. And then we also have one of the things that keep Juneteenth moving, and it's our Juneteenth Got Talent competition. And we're going to have 2 categories this year, ages 17 and under and ages 18 and above, both with cash prizes, and those are listed right there on the flyer. And we're going to have auditions for that on Saturday, June the 11th, and we're going to have that at the Hawthorne building, if I'm not mistaken. And they're going to go in and see what their talent is, put it out there, and then on June 18th, we'll let them go at it and see who walks away with some money in their hand.
So tell us about the Saturday festival itself.
Saturday Festival, it is filled with a lot of activities. We have vendors coming in, food, games, activities, individuals that are selling things that they have either created on their own or do for a living. Then we also, for the Performance Day, we have a band coming in from St. Louis under Angel Presents, and they're going to do about an hour or so worth of band music from every genre, and even including some of the old slave hymnals. So I'm excited about them. We have a comedian coming in by the name of Prentice Dew, and he's going to come in and do some clean jokes, of course, but things that he's going to help me kind of MC throughout the program. We have the Juneteenth Got Talent shows that are going to happen on that day. We have some skits by the children that are in the community that have come together to do some what we call Black History moments or commercials, and they're going to come in between the activities. We also have a speaker coming in from St. Louis from the Father Support Center, and he's going to come in and speak about maximize manhood and fathership initiative programs to get the men in our community kind of riled up and want to pull together, and just activities.
Now, throughout that day, if people wish to find out more about Juneteenth, what's going on, how can they go about getting that information?
We have a website out there, and the website, I believe, is listed on here, so I want to get it correct here. That they can go, and it's www.juneteenthjcmo.org, or they're more than welcome to give us a call at 573-893-4191. And at some point, someone will give you a call back and or answer your email or your questions based from the website.
Volunteers.
Cannot get enough. Anyone that's interested in coming out helping, whether it's set up, tear down, putting on a skit, suggestions, ideas, cleanup, we can use you. This is a community event. We want as many hands in it as we possibly can get, because the more that's in, the more that we can get out. And it's like your grandmother said, whatever you put into something, that's what you're going to take away. So we need the community to come in and put something in so they can get a lot to take away and get the education out there for everybody.
Now, you shared with us that your kids were involved in Juneteenth over the years. Tell us about their experience coming out of that and participating in Juneteenth.
My children kind of like me. If it's something going on, they want to be there. But when they weren't participating in the activity, they like to go around from the booth, learn different things the booths have to offer. They enjoyed watching the other acts or the other things that were on the stage itself going on. But one of my daughters, she was just sitting there journaling. I'm asked, what is she doing? Where everybody she would go to, she would ask them a question about, why are we here, or what are we doing? And she would write their response down, and then she would ask me, is this what really happened in history? Is this true? Can we really do this? And so it was an educational experience for them on one end. It was an excitement on the other. And then when they participated in the programs that were on stage, and most the Footprints Project, one of them, they liked people come, and they were excited about the people seeing them out there and dancing and cheering for them. So it was just kind of an all-around enjoyment for them.
So what are some of the things that kids can look forward to?
We have a bounce house. We have the game booth. We have little trinkets of surprises they can win. I think they're going to enjoy seeing their peers on stage doing activities. The pageant, that's always a big thing. Everybody likes to see people get dressed up and win trophies. I think the children will come back saying, ooh, how can I be a part of that next year? At least that's my goal. I want everyone there, oh, I want to do that next year. So.
And talking about children, the Boys and Girls Club is also working with you this year.
Yes, they are. One, they're going to run all of the activities for the children. They're setting up, like I said, the bounce house and some other games out there. They're going to give out information about the Boys and Girls Club, opportunities to sign up if you want to be part of the Boys and Girls Club. And then I'm working with right now one of the individuals that work at the Boys and Girls Club to bring some of the children that normally wouldn't participate in things because they may be shy or just don't have the resources to participate. They're going to help with writing some of the skits, directing. So it's going to be pretty much youth-led what we're doing in the community. And so we're breaking it down to give even those children or other children that don't normally have the opportunity to participate.
Okay. Well, we've been very, very excited about the support of the Boys and Girls Club over the years.
Yes.
They really taking on the responsibility of working very closely with the young people, and that really helped us out because we were planning Juneteenth, but at the same time we're not experts at dealing with young people, and they are. So that's been a tremendous asset.
And they so willingly do it. She called up and said, hey, can we do again? So I'm like, oh, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about what you hope not young people, but the community get out of attending Juneteenth.
I want them to come and have fun. I want them to enjoy what's going on, look around, see people they only see every now and then, get out of the Walmart routine. Because I know with me, most people I don't see unless I'm in Walmart, but know who's in your community, know who's out there for you, know the services that are available and the opportunities are available, and then most of all, the education of why we do what we do. I want them to be motivated both internally and externally to do something different in their community, whether it's to plant a community garden because of Lincoln being up there and selling fresh fruit and vegetables, or starting their own business because they say, oh wow, I can do this too, or teaching their kids, everything's not about being in front of the stage, but there's a lot of work behind the stage. I want us to get to the point that we collaborate and able to just grow from this and hope that next Juneteenth is bigger and the next one is bigger and the next one is bigger. And not because Jeff City population has grown, but because we're going out in our communities and pulling other people in to be part, because we really are a community together.
Let's talk about individuals who wish to volunteer. How do they make contact with you to volunteer? And if they don't, let's say that they want to volunteer, but they don't know what to volunteer for.
There's so much out there. If you don't know what to volunteer for, but you have the heart to volunteer, I can find somewhere for you to go. Okay. Find something for you to do. We still have a lot going on. If there's individuals that work with youth and really like it, we can use you during our camp time. If it's individuals that prefer to kind of help us get the decorations put together for the programs that we're having, or come out and make sure the stage is running properly, anything, we have an open opportunity for just about everyone.
Yeah. What kind of camp you call it?
It's going to be the Health, Dance, Theater Camp.
Okay,
community
now,
camp.
There is a nutritional component to it also, right?
Within the health, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that nutrition portion.
We're going to have an actual licensed nutrition come out, talk with the children about why we should eat healthy and not just go eat healthy. Let them talk about the food groups and let the children ask questions about. And we know the dynamics of families differ. So just what may be healthy and affordable to you may not be healthy and affordable to me. So how can you work within what you have to make it healthy? What is a good portion to eat? What's a good portion of to have just as a fun day, what to stay away from, what to add to it. They're going to also talk about the importance of drinking plenty of water. It's summertime, it's warm, and what water does for you in general, and not just the hydration portion of it. They're also going to talk about things that we can do for exercise and to keep healthy, and the numbers we should look for. We typically wait to individual or adults, they go to the doctor and they go, oh, this is the actual normal blood pressure. But children should know that as well. They have family members that, may need to be checked, or they have family members that are diabetic. And if children also are aware of what's going on, they'll respond and act differently. So the hopes is to make them more aware of what we need to do to be healthy and what the people around us need, for us to help them be healthy as well.
Okay. Getting close to wrapping this up, I want you again to restate some of the things that's going to be going on.
Okay.
And end with how they can make contact with you and access the website to get more information.
The Juneteenth celebration will begin on Sunday, and let me pull this out here, on Sunday, June 12th, and we're going to start at 2 o'clock with the Father's Day Awards Banquet. We're going to have that week also, that Thursday, the Mr. and Mrs. Juneteenth pageant, which we will start. And again, all this information will be on our website, so I'm just going to give you the brief overview. That Saturday, we're going to have the Juneteenth competition. The tryouts or the actual audition type thing for that will be the Saturday before, which is June the 11th. And again, all the information for that's going to be on our website. And then we're going to conclude that Saturday with what we call the Juneteenth Heritage Festival, which will be at the Riverside Park from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That will include skits, a guest speaker, a comedian, a band, dance from the community. We have a step show or individuals that step that would like to come and step. Out in the open area, we'll have some flash mobbing, meaning those that have been on program or those that are not really scheduled on program, if they have something that they want to do, the spotlight's on them. Mm-hmm. We're going to have the vendors out there who we really want to support. The vendors are going to be, our moms, our dads, our neighbors, our cousins, our friends. Let's get out and support them. And if you want to contact us, again, please visit our website, www.juneteenthjcmo.org. And then it's 573-893-4191.
Okay. And wrapping it up, we want to thank you for, first of all, thank you for stepping up and taking on the leadership of the planning committee this year. You've brought a tremendous energy and new ideas to Juneteenth, and we want to thank you for that. And want you to, of course, close out with inviting individuals to join the planning committee and in preparation for next year's Juneteenth.
Again, I plead, it's more than an invite, I plead with anyone in the community that's interested in helping Juneteenth become a real big staple here and everyone know about it. Please join us on the committee. We can use your help. We're open to new ideas, new suggestions. I believe in change. What started Juneteenth here, I think that's awesome, but now that the door has been opened, let's take it to another level. Can't do it without community support, volunteers, ideas, suggestions. So again, the website, www.juneteenthjcmo.org. Please go there. There should be a form where you can put information in and say, hey, I need more information, or I would like to volunteer. Let me know. we'll contact you. And the biggest thing about planning something, the earlier we can plan it, the better it can turn out. So the sooner you want to volunteer, the sooner we can get started.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We are very excited about Juneteenth this year. It is nice to be sitting on the sideline this year and letting Wendy take the lead and do all the heavy lifting. And so we're just there kind of in an advisory capacity. But we are excited to continue the Juneteenth practice here in Jefferson City. It is a tremendous opportunity to bring the community together to celebrate and have a good time. But not only have a good time, but also learn a little bit at the same time. We wish you to take the time to come out June the 12th for the Father's Day banquet, and then on the 17th and 18th as well. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. God bless.